would not talk about this but for some reason, these put that on the internet. Now, I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped.
It appears the beef between Will Smith and Chris Rock is not yet over. Apparently, the comedian has gone out of his way to insult Will and Jada, and their son, Jaden Smith, is not having any of it. On March 6, Jaden took to his Twitter to post a gif of Martin Lawrence sarcastically laughing as a subliminal response to Rock's Netflix show, which featured the comedian blasting out Will and Jada. While some people did not understand what Jaden was going on about, most fans were quick to connect the dots and realize what he was saying. How do people not know what this is about? One fan asked, "Chris Rock just ain't funny at all." Never has been. Another fan wrote, "I think someone's upset about some good jokes." A third fan wrote, while a fourth one added, "I wouldn't know how to react if Chris Rock got a standing ovation for owning my parents either. It's all good." Meanwhile, other people called out Jaden, with one particular person saying, "Your mother cheated on your father with your friend, and you're mad at Chris Rock. Your family is effed up." Another person added, "The one good thing you didn't inherit from your father is his large stature and athleticism. It will make you think twice about slapping people like a thug. Keep your head up, little man, and refrain from speaking about the incident. Be more like your big brother." Other fans have come out to say that Chris did what needed to be done. And how do you think Chris Rock's kids felt about their father being punched on television in front of the world? Hella bad is the answer. Did they come out crying about it on social media? No, Chris delivered his truth in true Rock fashion. It needed to be done. One fan wrote, "Jaden Smith has given the world a fair share of things to laugh at his family for." And they did laugh, commented, and reacted. Chris did exactly what Chris should have done, and the Smiths deserve to hear it all. The pen is mightier than the sword. Another fan added, "Chris Rock unleashed his full fury on Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith during his live, selected outrage Netflix special, blasting them both for the bad blood that led to the Oscar-nominated actor slapping Rock at last year's Academy Awards. In the show, Chris contrasted his G.I. Jane joke with Will's slap, saying that the blow hurt more than his words. Chris continued by saying that Will was engaging in selective outrage.
And Jada, this is what he said.
Will Smith practices selective outrage. I didn't have any intention.
With that phrase, everyone knew Chris alluded to Jada's well-known 2020 admission that she had an entanglement with August Alsina in the past. Will even appeared with Jada on an episode of her Reg Table Talk to discuss it all, and Rock made fun of him for it.
We all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us.
Chris even said that after all that happened, he tried to call Will, but Will didn't answer. Rock also hinted that there may have been animosity after he presided over the 2016 Oscars, while Jada called for a boycott due to the lack of diversity among the contenders, which included her husband.
His wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host. She said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for concussion. So did I.
Following the show, an insider told Entertainment Tonight that Will Smith is upset that Rock discussed the slap, even though he apologized to him in an emotional video on YouTube after the incident. Will is embarrassed and hurt by what Chris said about him and his family in his Netflix special. He didn't watch it, but he had people tell him what Chris said, the source said, before adding, "It's everywhere when you look online and on social media, so Will and Jada have seen comments about it." The source continued, "Will apologized to Chris and would like for Chris to let it go. Will has worked on himself and he's banned by the Oscars for 10 years. He feels like that's enough and wants Chris to move on so that he and everyone else can too," the outlet shared. Furthermore, the source revealed that Smith is also upset that Netflix gave the Everybody Hates Chris star a platform to express his negative views. Will is also upset that Netflix was a part of this and thinks Chris insulting Jada again is below the belt, the source noted. He is upset that Netflix gave Chris this platform to share these messages and thinks it's distasteful. Jada Pinkett also broke her silence on Chris Rock's stand-up special. In a statement released to People magazine, a source close to Jada claims that Chris has always been obsessed with her and that she has no part in the saga. Jada has had no part in all of this other than being heckled, the source told People. Chris is obsessed with her and that's been going on for almost 30 years. Look where he chose to film his Netflix special. Her hometown of Baltimore, obsessed. The source added, back in 2016, she helped start a movement with the Academy Awards by questioning why there are so few black members. And Chris took it to this. She never asked Chris to not host the Oscars ever. She publicly said in a Facebook post at the time Chris would be a great Oscars host and is perfect for the job. This is actually true. Jada fully supported Chris to host the Oscars.
I will not be at the Academy Awards and I won't be watching. But I can't think of a better man to do the job at hand this year than you, my friend. Good luck. And to the rest of you, nothing but love.
So, Chris actually lied in his stand-up to pretty much villainize Jada. However, Chris' friends are behind him 100%.
No matter what goes down, we support each other. I support freedom of speech. Obviously, there's no place for violent behavior based on differences in opinion.
Apparently, Chris has said everything he wanted to say about the controversial incident a year after it shook the world, and he is now ready to move past it. An insider told Entertainment Tonight that the comedian believes he has done the right thing since it went down and can now relax that his hard work has paid off. Everyone was very happy with how it turned out, the insider said of the show, before adding that Rock was in his element and was calm and comfortable on stage. The insider said that the stand-up gig was a big deal for Rock as it was the first time that he addressed the slap and also that it was a live event. He said everything he wanted to say, the source added. It was funny, self-deprecating, and thought-provoking, and now Chris is ready to move on. Chris thinks his Netflix special was amazing and he feels great, another insider revealed. He is glad he waited to debut his material on Netflix for such a big audience and to finally share his reaction to what happened with Will. The outlet further shared, Chris' comedian friends have had his back throughout everything, including Dave Chappelle and Jerry Seinfeld. His crew all sticks together and agreed Will was out of line for slapping Chris. They all appreciate the way Chris handled it and feel like it helps all of them because comedians should not be attacked or hit. Chris is in a great place and happy. He came out on top and believes he has done the right thing since it went down. He is grateful for all the support. Meanwhile, viewers have criticized Rock's stand-up, saying that it was surface level. On the other hand, fans on Twitter have been showing mixed reactions towards the show. Chris Rock went in with flying tackles in that Netflix special. One fan wrote, to which a second fan replied saying, "It's been a year, he should get over it." Chris Rock's Netflix special was absolutely ruthless. He went on a roasting rampage. He was mad. Another fan wrote. Meanwhile, Kenny Hamilton was one of the first to express his disappointment in the show, saying it was funny on occasion but didn't hit the high notes he expected it to. "I've always liked Chris Rock in movies. Never been a big fan of his stand-up. The special last night was funny at times but still didn't hit like I thought it would," he wrote, then went on to add, "He took a year to make a moment and missed, in my opinion. I was hoping it was going to be bigger. He was on fire for about 10 minutes of it, I think." The feud between Chris Rock and Will Smith started long before the 2022 Oscars slap. Rumors about their feud began in the late 1990s, when Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith's hit movie Wild Wild West during one of his comedy routines. Rock joked that Wild Wild West was so bad that it made him not like Will Smith. Some fans interpreted this as a personal attack on Smith, and there were rumors that the two celebrities were feuding as a result. However, Smith has never publicly commented on the joke, and it's unclear whether he was even aware of it at the time. In 2014, Rock stirred up the pot again when he made a series of controversial comments about Hollywood and race in an interview with New York Magazine. Rock criticized Hollywood for being a white industry and suggested that black actors had a harder time getting roles and recognition than their white counterparts. Fans interpreted these comments as a direct attack on Will Smith, who had recently been snubbed for an Oscar nomination for his performance in the movie Concussion. With such a long history, and the fact that family is now involved, we can only imagine how this feud ends, but best believe we'll have the scoop for you. That's it for today's video, folks. Bye!